How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a nice evening. This is when I'm recording this. It'll probably be morning when you see it. Um, People seem to like the last one of these I did a little bit recently on Amen Thompson. Go check it out if you haven't. So I'm going to do another one today. And I'm going to talk about Jabari Smith's defense and what makes an elite wing defender and why I think Jabari Smith could definitely be that one day. He just does not move like a normal 6'10" person moves. Just watch this play. Just watch the way his hips move. Watch the way his feet move. Like, that is unnatural. A guy who can turn his hips so effortlessly, go from a hop to sliding different directions. Notice the physical aggressive clap right here. That is kind of Jabari's brand of like in your mouth defense, which is certainly nice. And then again, this time in bigger spaces, Jabari really opening up his hips, stopping on a dime, moving in different directions. Just the agility and like lower body movement to be able to change directions so quickly and take so many fluid, efficient steps at that size. Like that's what like 6'5", 6'6" like ball stoppers do. Like not Jabari Smith. Like Davion Mitchell has these kind of feet. Like this is like Davion Mitchell feet. And Jabari is 6'10". This is really, really abnormal. And when it comes to defending the best creators, you really need that like flexibility and the way to move with all of their movement. And that's how you defend like small guards who can really handle. Again, more big space movement. Let's talk about his hips. His base always so wide. And I think that helps his hip fluidity excel as well. Like constantly moving, bouncing back and forth, using his hands, making the ball handler uncomfortable. And then just watch how quick this hip flip is. He goes from here to here in less than a second. That's like how many frames that is. That's like goes from here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, let's say 16, 20 frames. He's all the way around and is able to poke the ball out. Like, this is unnatural. And just to show you an example of slower hips, this is my buddy Lucas right here. This is me. I'm not going to tell him I did this. I'm just going to wait till he finds out to see if he watches my videos. But you can kind of watch him closing out to me right here. And just watch like how slowly his hips get around. And the feet are kind of sliding. This is lazy defense by Lucas. But again, you just contrast that with the hips of Jabari in the big space, like 12 frames getting over. And Lucas's hip, let's see how many frames these take to get around. So from here, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You get the point. It's a lot more frames than it took Bari. Sorry, Lucas. I love you. Don't be mad. Let's go back to Jabari and talk about closeouts, which is a critical offensive skill because NBA offense is predicated on finding advantage and attacking closeouts, and being able to snuff those advantages out after your primary defense this weekend is critical. It's why I'm so high on a guy we'll watch in a little bit. And mostly big guys can't do this, which really impedes their ability to cover ground. Like Evan Mobley does this, but like most guys do. And Jabari certainly, though I see him as more of a wing than a big defender, like he can do this. Just he's so under control, always gets in his face. The hands are awesome. He's got great hand placement and he uses the length he has to good effect. Watch how many steps he takes. This is maybe like one I don't know, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps. Like these closeouts where not only he's not only using his fluid hips and like his balance here to stay controlled, he knows that the way to cover a lot of space, changing directions with momentum is to use a lot of steps. And we'll contrast this with college. This is college Grant Williams. I'm sorry, Grant. This is nothing personal. This is the first clip of a bad closeout I could find. Watch how many steps he takes on this closeout to PJ Washington. It's about 2 steps. And it's just so much harder to change your momentum. First, when you lunge like this, and also when you have so many big steps that are carrying your momentum this way, instead of little steps that can take you this direction quickly to cut that drive off. Honestly, like the Jabari closeouts kind of Josh Greenish, which is really really crazy. One of my favorite prospects and like a closeout wizard. So watch this Josh Green closeout. Again, count the steps. Like he takes maybe 5 or 6 steps to get from like right here on the court to like right here, like this distance that can be covered with one stride from most of these like very tall human beings. But Josh Green knows he can cover a lot more ground under a lot more control this way, and the great closeout defenders do that. I mean, Jabari's tools, as we've kind of seen defensively, I think he's someone that can really add weight to. His frame seems like it could become pretty strong, and then he's hopefully retains the mobility, and then he can be a really versatile defender that I think can probably defend 2, 3.5 positions with those feet. The area of improvement that this mobility could help improve is his kind of off-ball awareness, where Walker Kessler's pretty clearly beat here, and Jabari is the back line here. He needs to rotate over and protect the rim, but he just lets Quinterly go. So I wonder how much of this can be improved with tapping into the movement skills and the ground coverage. I mean, he's not the quickest, so like the acceleration here isn't going to be great, and he's not great vertically, but he really can move his feet and get into good position as well there. So that's just an area of improvement for a pretty stellar defensive prospect in Jabari Smith, who, as some of you may know, if you follow my content, I am not a huge fan of and wouldn't take number 1 or anything, but is a very good prospect and someone I think probably has a legitimate all-defense ceiling.